Kawasaki's post-race explanation finally shed light on how Jorge Prado ended up a head-scratching 43rd in BuddsCreeks qualifying. The team cited multiple bike changes in both qualifying sessions and confirmed he was bumped to the 41st gate pick via series seating because the number 70 sits inside the top 10 in points. From there, the day was a study in contradictions. From extreme outside in Moto 1, Prado ripped a phenomenal launch, crossed the green flag in 9th, sliced to 5th on lap 1, and reached 4th by lap 2, the kind of opening surge that matches his world champ pedigree. But the middle third told a real story. Small mistakes stacked up, the rhythm went missing, and the lap time floor fell out. He faded to 11th by the flag. Moto 2 began with another signature start into 3rd, then the same slow leak, 5th, 9th, 12th, finishing 12th for 10th overall, and 6th in the final pro motocross standings. The quotes paint the split screen perfectly. The press release struck the right notes. Gratitude, lessons learned, eyes forward. It was a challenging season, but challenges make you stronger. On social, Prado was more blunt, and it tracks with what we've been watching. He never felt comfortable, not even a bit, and that lack of comfort turned into an unsafe feeling. He clarified that cruising meant he couldn't ride to his full potential despite giving 100%, so he had to cap his speed. That's exactly how his motos looked: explosive starts, then a governor. The pace ceiling wasn't fitness, it was confidence in the package. The result is a season that is both respectable on paper and deeply frustrating in context. 6th overall in your first AMA summer is no small thing. But for the reigning MXGP world champion, the guy who dictates tone in Europe, it felt like a muted cover version of a chart topper. The motorcycle was the constant variable in every answer. Whether it was engine character, chassis feel, or how the bike reacted as the tracks got square edge and choppy, he never bonded with the KX in a way that let his corner speed and exit drive show up. You can see that in the spike and slide, great out of the gate, then a tentative mid-moto phase where he protected lines instead of exploiting them. Cue the rumor mill. You've heard the same whispers. Kawasaki didn't carry the late-season updates from Ironman to Buds due to contract tension. Prado could be off green before SMX, a 2026 return to orange, a Sexton to Kawasaki move that would tidy up both factory rosters like a rider swap in all but name. All of that remains rumor until jerseys get printed, but the logic is obvious. If Sexton does go green for 2026, KTM needs a franchise-level 450 closer, and Prado is one of a handful alive who qualify. Conversely, if Kawasaki recenters around Sexton, their internal development cadence will orbit his feel and feedback. The only hard constraint is contracts. Kawasaki still has another year with Prado on paper. Whether that's a bridge or a buffer is what lawyers and managers decide in the weeks ahead. Whispers say Kawasaki didn't even bring certain upgrades to BuddsCreeks, believing Prado was already in talks with KTM. Others believe he won't finish his American adventure in green at all, hinting that SMX could be his final races with the team. With Chase Sexton rumored to be on his way to Kawasaki in 2026, the pieces begin to align. Imagine it, Prado back in orange alongside Aaron Plessinger and Eli Tomac, Sexton in green, a full-blown rider swap that could reshape the paddock. Spain's Motocross of Nations lineup now hangs in the balance, too. If Prado commits, a trio of Prado, Ruben Fernandez, and Guillem Fares could form a powerhouse team. But Prado's motivation, more than his speed, seems to be the question mark. That word, motivation, has become the undercurrent of this season. Eli Tomac recently addressed criticism about riders quitting. Now Chase Sexton has followed suit, firing back at a fan online who lumped him, Prado, and Tom Vial together under that label. Sexton's response was sharp. Fans don't see what goes on behind the scenes, he said. Riders give their lives to this sport. No one quits without a reason. Could Hayden Deegan change course and jump straight into 450 Supercross in 2026 instead of staying 250 for SX and moving up only for outdoors? Short answer, it's possible, but unlikely, unless a few big levers move in his favor. And what pulls him toward 450 SX right away? Competitive readiness. Deegan's starts, sprint speed, corner aggression, and higher-risk bike placement often scale better outdoors, but his SX whoops have improved massively. He's also physically maturing into a frame that can handle the extra inertia of a 450 on rhythm transitions. Market gravity, he's the sport's biggest needle mover. Brands and promoters love the attention spike a Deegan vs. Jet headliner brings. There's real pressure and real money to roll that marquee out on Saturday nights, not just summers. Team architecture. If Star Yamaha's 450 Group and Yamaha's factory program want to consolidate marketing around a Saturday night tentpole, a 450SX debut in 2026 makes commercial sense. Risk calculus. 450SX is less forgiving. Whoops are longer and nastier at the end of mains, and racecraft in traffic gets more expensive when 230-pound missiles are arriving too wide. A single misread can turn into a 3-week injury. You only get to debut once. Rushing it can tax the long game. Championship equity. If he caps his 250 career with another outdoor title and an SX plate defense, he becomes a 450 rookie with max leverage, momentum, and a complete trophy case. That matters for contracts and for confidence when things inevitably get weird. Organizational patterning. Star's proven template is 250 SX title contention, 450 outdoors, full 450 the next year, or a split year. Breaking the template requires a clear performance reason, not just hype. Unless testing this fall-winter shows he's immediately a weekly top 3 450 SX guy in race length whoops and late moto traction, not time attack pace. Race pace repeatability. The most probable path is the original one. One more 250 SX season, then 450 outdoors in 2026, then full 450 in 2027. If the stars align, bike feel, whoops form, and a contract/marketing push, I'd put a full 450 SX jump in 2026 at 25% likelihood. A hybrid, select 450 SX rounds, or an in-season pivot, sits around 15%. Sticking to the current plan remains the favorite at 60%. The camera light pops on. 2 chairs, 1 future. Jet leans back, relaxed grin, the posture of a champion who's learned to make pressure feel like oxygen. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, he says, and it doesn't sound like a line. I'm always up for new challenges. When someone shows up really good, it actually brings the best out of me. Nobody likes losing, so if I do, I get pretty pissed, and I come back swinging. Fans want a rivalry. If they want to chase an RC versus Bubba vibe, cool. That's good for the sport. Deegan nods, a shade more reserved than usual with Jet 3 feet away. I'm excited, he says. I've got work to do. Those guys are no joke in the 450 class. All I can do is grind and keep stacking days. I'll get there. Read between the lines, and it's instructive. Jet's answer is a tell. He frames challenges as fuel. That's a competitive superpower because it turns external threats into internal triggers. Deegan's answer is a different kind of tell. He self-checks the bravado and acknowledges the gap. That humility, in public no less, isn't weakness. It's the trait that keeps your progress curve steep. The public loves the sound bites, but the real rivalry won't be built on posts. It will be built on whoops entries at lap 18, the starts when the ruts are catching pegs, and how each guy handles a 2-race slump. If Deegan does show up on a 450 at Anaheim, here's what decides how fast the rivalry becomes real. Single lap blitz is nice. Holding form in traffic at minute 14 is the separator. A 450 lets you create exits where 250 can't. It also punishes early throttle in chopped edges. The line selection discipline has to tighten, not loosen. His 250 hole shot craft should translate, but the first 30 yards are different when every bike leaps forward with torque. SX weekends are noise machines. The ability to mute distractions, especially when the hype is weaponized, will matter as much as lap time. Either way, the rivalry is coming. Whether it begins under neon in January or under the summer sun in May is the only real question.